Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Zoom In on the Halal Metropolis, where we check in with members of the Muslim community of Metro Detroit to see how they're adjusting to this new reality. Here with me today, we have a very special guest, Abdallah Jasim, also known as Abid J on social media.
Yep.
Abdullah is an incredible comedian. He not only brings joy to hundreds of thousands of people through his art, but he's also using his comedy to raise awareness about social political issues like the war in Yemen, Islamophobia, the importance of the census, and even social distancing. So Abdullah, it always brings me so much joy and pleasure to talk to you, man. I wish we could
Thank you.
have this conversation in person, but welcome to Zoom In on the Halal Metropolis. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Salam. Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate you for always looking out for me. My man, Razi, I love you, bro. Thank you.
I love you too. So I know that 2019 was in many ways a very complicated year for you. Allah yarhama, loss of your mom. But you made a lot of big strides, in your career, in your art career, your comedy career. What were some of the goals that you had, for 2020 before Corona just like flipped everything upside down?
Yeah, so 2020 was supposed to be, like you said, like it was supposed to be my year as well, man, because I had a whole trip planned out from January to February. I was going to go to Mecca, Medina, and then go to Iraq, go to Palestine, go to Turkey. So that was like and I was going to vlog the whole thing, and it was going to be like, hey, I'm starting my whole YouTube vlogging thing. That didn't work out because, my mom, Allah yarhamha, passed away, so I couldn't do any of those things. But then I had a tour earlier this year, 6-city tour, and I had a whole bunch of other shows come up. And alhamdulillah, like I was getting maybe like around 3 to 4 shows nationally a month.
Wow.
And then the Rona hit. And when the Rona hit, I literally, all the emails came in like within 2 or 3 days, like, hey, we're canceling the shows, we're canceling the show. And I literally lost like around 10 shows that were already pre-planned. Everything was good. So, it really affected the whole stand-up portion of my profession. But then, I realized that I can't just sit down and not do anything, right? I can't just, I got to create. Like, as an artist, I have to create. So initially I had a whole bunch of ideas related to Corona, related to the quarantine, whatever, but now it's just been so long. We've been in quarantine for so long that like, it's like,
that Corona comedy's getting old, man.
Exactly. Like that's it. So now you have to create different type of content, and it's hard because you're really not experiencing life normally, right? You're just locked. You're locked in the house. There's really nothing. There's no sparks of magic that like, oh, that's funny, let me talk about that, or stories that happen to you, because usually comedy comes from things that happen to you, right? So
what's happening to most of us right now is a lot of nothing.
Exactly. So it's just been interesting, man. I've still been creating, and I started doing like live Instagram lives, and connecting with my followers, and like I have this thing called Roasted and Toasted with Abid J, where I just like roast my followers. So it's fun.
I've watched.
Yeah, he's like, I've watched you.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. Like, and this is something that a lot of artists are going through right now. But how is the virus and the stay-at-home order? How is it affecting your comedy in terms of like how are you adjusting and modifying what you're doing right now? I do see you putting out a lot of stuff. You're not just sitting at home. You're still producing and creating stuff. So. What have been the big effects in terms of how has it affected you creatively, and how is it pushing you creatively?
So it's definitely affected me creatively because I don't have, like I said, I don't have the inspiration anymore, right? There's really nothing to inspire me to do, so I'm just like locked in the house, but also it's challenged me. So when you're challenged, you start to think of outside the box, and it's kind of, changing my perspective on how to, especially with TikTok coming out, and TikTok now is like the new trend, and everybody's like people are getting viral left and right. I'm like, man, so now I'm jumping onto TikTok and learning TikTok, as a freaking grown adult. I'm not doing dances though. I'm not doing any of those dances, but I'm just trying to expand my content as much as I can.
Yeah. No, a lot of your work, from what I've seen is like, it's observational. It's about these everyday kind of life things that we all experience. And you just have this great way of putting a humorous kind of a take on it. the
Mhm.
everyday frustrations and things like that, so another question I have for you is, because of how this is affecting everybody, you know, we're seeing at this time such an appreciation for artists and entertainers. And why is comedies especially so important right now, in your
Well, because people are very bored. You know what I'm saying? They're really
opinion?
bored, and not only
Yeah.
bored, but they're very anxious. They're
Mm,
worried. They're worried about their families. They're worried about getting sick. So comedy really allows you to just forget about the craziness for just a couple of seconds. You know what I'm saying? Forget about whatever is going on in your life, the depression that you may be going through, or whatever it is. Because a lot of people can't handle being locked up. They need to be out and about and stuff. So I really think that comedy brings just a little bit of lightheartedness to everyone. Just to, especially when people actually find it funny, like when people are laughing, because when a good laugh really can make your day so much better.
oh yeah,
You know?
yeah,
I'm not talking about like no, I'm talking about like like one of those laughs.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
hope I could keep making people laugh like that. I want them to belt and scream when they laugh.
No, for sure. You definitely get a rise out of me. So I I appreciate. I definitely enjoying some Abid J action these days. So
Thank you, thank you, thank
from the
you.
safety of my couch.
Yeah.
And so one of the other things I mentioned, this is a time there is a lot of seriousness and gravity to the situation. And as I mentioned, you're using your comedy at times to raise awareness or send a message. Why is that important to you, and how did that become a part of your work? One of the videos I noticed was about the census, and it was hilarious, but it's also super super important that, especially in the Arab community and the immigrant community and the Muslim community, that we are counted. So where did this come from for you, and why is it important in your work?
Well, I personally think that comedy is the best way to send a message, right? Because it's kind of like it's like a Trojan horse, right? You come in and you're laughing, but then you're like, oh damn, I just learned
I
something.
learned
You know what I'm
something.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and a lot of comedians, I'm not the only comedian that does this. A lot of comedians like Jon Stewart and Trevor
Mm,
Noah. Those are the type of samanage. They're a lot better at it than I am. They actually you know they've excelled in that field, right? But I just feel like it's important because just posting goofy stuff all the time, yeah, it's fun and it's whatever. But I also want to make sure that people realize, like, hey, I'm not crazy all the time. I actually believe in a lot of these things, and I think that these things are important, and I think that you should also understand why they're important. So
mm.
I'm not just gonna go ahead and like just make a video like, hello guys, and today I wanted to talk to you about the census. Like, no,
Yeah.
like I gotta give it
It's not
my
your style. It's not your
exactly.
style.
Exactly. So I got to give it my twist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really think it's important, and I think a lot of people, they don't realize what an impact they have when they have followers and people that listen to them and follow them. It's you really can open people's eyes to whatever you want. You have such a huge impact on people's lives, especially during this quarantine where no, like all people are doing are watching, either Instagram, YouTube, the Netflix, right? So I think it's very important that more social media influencers take part in trying to send a good message out there.
And staying with this theme a little bit, I mentioned earlier, Allah yarhamah, you lost your mom, last year. One of the things I wanted to ask about, because we wanted to share the information about the Iman Jasim Foundation, can you just tell us a little bit about the foundation, how it started, and maybe a little bit about your mom's work?
So my mom, Allah yarhamha, she passed away December 18th last year, and my mom was known in the community to always help orphans. Right, that was her goal in life, was to help as many orphans as possible. So she actually created these Islamic stories. They're books. There's 6 volumes, and all the money from the books is donated to orphans. The cool part about it is that she started this about 6 years ago, and before she passed away, she's almost raised over like $800,000-900,000
Wow.
through selling those books. So when she passed away, we thought, like, we can't, like, because she literally lived her life for this, and we can't, like, the only, like, a lot of people, they go into depression and they go, get super sad, and my whole family made a realization, like, my mom would be so angry at us if we just moped around and didn't do anything.
Mm,
She was all about doing stuff. She was all about action. So we decided to create this foundation in her name and continue her work and try to help as many orphans as possible. Alhamdulillah, we've raised around like $30,000 for this Ramadan. And she would
Amazing.
always, have super high goals, so we're trying to exceed her goals and continue her work. So there's a Launch Good link on my profile, or not my profile, the Iman Jasim Foundation. And we're basically, the money's going to Yemeni orphans. So if you guys are interested, you can either
Yeah.
donate or you can buy a book. And the books are really awesome. They're not like, she didn't make up like Harry Potter stories. Like, these are legitimate Islamic stories from the
Mm.
Sahaba and the Tabi'in. So yeah, man, we're just trying to keep her legacy going and keep it. That's the only way that it kind of makes us feel good on the inside, because
Mm.
it's not worth just moping around and crying all the time.
Yeah.
That's the
And
only thing that's gonna help her at the end of the day, basically.
absolutely. Yeah. And it's so amazing to see you guys carrying that legacy. And I know she has had a big influence on you. I had the honor of meeting your mom, on an occasion, and she's such an amazing woman. And so that Launch Good link, we'll include it in the description for this interview. So what are so how can people help? Is it just like donations? Is that kind of the main thing right now? Is that
Well,
the
yeah,
main thing that
donations
you
is
support?
the main thing, but also just really the idea is to purchase things, so you're gaining benefit from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like these books, because sadaqah jariyah isn't just money, right? Like my mom's books are actually knowledge, like, so
Mm,
you reading it and understanding it is also helping her out, right? In the grave. So the idea is to really, she thought of so many different ideas, like candles, Eid cards, Ramadan cards, little
mm-hmm.
like dua reminders. So all these things she would make just so that she can sell, so that people can donate, rather than just asking, hey, donate, donate, donate. No, you're actually buying something, and you're
Mm,
getting your value, the money's value, and then you're also donating that money, right? So it's a different way of collecting funds.
mm-hmm.
So it's just the idea is to basically, like I said, orphans is the main focus, and we're trying to allow, because a lot of these organizations, they just give like, you know a bag of food for a month, right? Or whatever. Like, what we want to do is we're trying to collect enough money to create some sort of sustainable business for them, so that
Mm.
the orphans can actually create their own funds and live through it. Right? They say don't the whole fish thing, right? You teach a fish how
Teach a
to
man to
swim
fish.
or whatever the hell.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no, that's amazing. We'll definitely include the information, and we'll promote it as well. And we're also going to be promoting the Iman Jasim Foundation through the Ramadan Lights Project, which is another project that we're working on through Halal Metropolis. So, it's Ramadan, man. How's your Ramadan going?
honestly, man, it's not the same without my mom, because she,
Mm,
she was like the soul of the house, right?
yeah, yeah.
But alhamdulillah, my sister, she's been stepping it up, and her cooking has been like out of this world. So like, I feel
Yeah.
like my mom made a dua before. She's like, Ya Allah, my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So my sister.
It's her inheritance. Just that's
Yeah.
all. It's like behind the back
So,
pass.
so alhamdulillah, man. It's
Yeah.
honestly, and then it's been good, because we're praying tarawih as a family, and it's just kind of
Nice.
like a close knit thing, and reading
Yeah.
Quran together, doing adhkar together. So it's really it's a different Ramadan for sure, but I think it's cool that it's not only different for us, it's different for the whole world, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And how are you entertaining yourself these days? Like, what do you turn to? Is it your own work, or is it meaning the creation of your own work, or like what who are you looking to right now?
Honestly, man, I've been watching, here and there movies, if like honestly, not that much, man. I just bought Call of Duty because all my college friends, they were saying that they play it, so I bought it, and I got a little speaker and headset now. So that was
Nice.
pretty fun. But
Yeah.
really, there's not I'm not doing that much, man, because it's either creating or helping my dad around the house, or like he's been gardening, and so just trying to, like, I just want this to be over, man. I want to go out. I want to go out and
Same, you and me both, man. Yeah. Inshallah, we'll get to hang out in real life at some point soon, inshallah. Yeah, but it's always so great to see you, man. Really appreciate your time. Ramadan Mubarak, enjoy the rest of the month, and hopefully we'll get to connect in real life at some point. And also, I got to thank you for that that haircut tips.
Hey, I got you, bro. I got you. No problem, man. We got the inside connect, boy.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Times of need, call for desperate measures. Abdullah, thank you so much. We'll hopefully we'll talk to you soon. 2021 is going to be a big year.
Yes, yes, it is for all of us.
For all of us, inshallah. Yeah.
All right,
So
man.
we'll
It's
talk
really
to you
nice
soon.
talking to you, bro.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.